stickers off. All right, what up, people? What's going on? We live, episode number 35 of the Heroes No Capes podcast. How y'all feeling? See y'all up in here. Y'all on fire already. I am the Abomination, known as AJ. I ain't got no soundboard, all that type of stuff, little claps and all that type of stuff. But hey, it might come. But yeah, I am joined by my co-hosts, my mans, my homies, Mr. Left Eye Ego. How you doing, sir? Talk to the people.
Doing good. What's up, everyone? You got Left Eye Ego here, back for another week of Heroes No Cape after having a lot of DC news drop. I'm excited about that. Can't wait to talk about it. But I'm here. Let's get it.
All right, so y'all know us. Let's refer to the chat. The people that make this show an actual goddamn show. Or like I said, it'll just be two dudes arguing into the ether. Dempsey, y'all always first one up in here with that fire. What up, bro? How you doing? Weird World Comedy, dinosaurs. All right, now he responded to the question. Now the question is, look, y'all, it's not no real nihilistic whatever. Like it, there is an article that came out. We'll reference it probably later on at some point. But supposedly, what you say, Ego? They were trying to make a dinosaur out of some chicken DNA, some bird DNA.
So pretty much what they did was it's a dino chicken. They used chicken DNA, and they basically kind of used it to kind of see how a dinosaur would grow. So I don't know if they used chicken DNA to kind of make this chickenosaurus. So that's kind of it got us to thinking of like, what the hell, if the world's ending, how you want to go out? Like, you want to go out through the dinosaurs, or other means. We'll talk about it later in the chat because there are several examples that I've seen over the last 2 weeks that got us thinking about this.
Yeah, y'all know we got all types of fiction, almost fiction, whatever type of stories coming out that are basically warning us of, well, if you go down this route, this path, things can go wrong, and we ain't learned apparently. So, and John made a comment. We'll get to it, but I definitely agree with what he said. But let's keep going through this chat. Hell, right. The Lord. Okay. We figured that out. Hell, you should be good now. He said it's interesting. I think he's referring to the question. Copa at the gym right now and they're running errands, so I'm going to be popping in and out here to show love and hell. Chat, man, appreciate that love. Nothing but love. Back to you, sir. Get them gains. I understand if you turn us off because you got to cut the music on because you got to get in that mode. And I ain't mad at you, man. Just come back. We'll be here for about 2 hours. Morning, Jacob Ironside. Morning, Abomination AJ and chat. Merry Christmas.
Hey, Merry Christmas, good sir.
Merry Christmas to you, sir. Appreciate you being up in here. Good peoples. I see Jacob Ironside all over the place. Roman of the Empire. Good morning, all. How you doing, sir? What up, Mr. Roman? Glad to be here. It is a wonderful morning, almost afternoon, whatever you want to call it. And I look forward to collaborating with you, Mr. Roman. Dempsey again. End of the world. I choose full supernatural unleashing vamps, werewolves, Bigfoot, aliens, predators, the whole 9 yards. Man, I'm right with you. Let's open that break that barrier to the supernatural world, the other plane of existence, and hey, let's see what happens. Open the floodgates, open the borders. I'm going to hold on. Those my peoples.
Y'all ridiculous. I think y'all might like the show Midnight Texas. I think is the show where that actually is kind of like that.
Oh snap! Okay.
Yeah, it got two. It was only 2 seasons, but it was basically about exactly what you're talking about. A town in Texas where the veil is very, very thin between the natural and supernatural. Y'all might like that.
All right, you have to remind me. But John A. Douglas, I choose to go out in a blaze of flame and glory. Understood. Whatever come our way, we fighting it. We gonna survive. I'm just waiting for. What is this? Roman? Kurt. What y'all know what SMOD?
I do not actually.
All right, Roman. I ain't the smartest person, so let me know what that is. C4C. Hola muchachos. C4C. Then we were talking about the Avatar. Yes, I gotta start reading it. Dawn of Yang Chen. All right. Got my I got some more Avatar stuff, man, but that is I'm into the Avatar. I'm into the Avatar tough, heavy. One of the reasons, not to go too far into it, but that show did such a great job of world building that although Legend of Korra fucking sucks, we got all this history of avatars that we can go through because they did a great job of doing that world building straight out the gate. So, yeah. Yep. Let's go. Kobe. Y'all just getting hyped. There go Dempsey. just hype. John, if you ain't down with that, we got 2 words for you. Yo, biatches. What a weird world.
It's good.
How you doing, bro? Glad you up in here. Where your hog buddy at, bro? Next time I need to see a picture with him fucking on your arm. Some falconry around here. What I do to go to hell? Oh hell, LOL. Hey bud. Now that I think about a lot. Hey man, don't go there. It's not a good place. Get yourself right, son. And you can be as weird as you want to be while you're doing it. All heroes, no zeros, no capes, all grapes. I can't rhyme. John, was that a racist joke? Grapes? Because we black. Huh? They're purple.
No, I love. He's just trying to. He's trying to figure a word around with capes.
I know, man. I know. I'm just being stupid. Nah, bro. I had some grapes before I started the stream. So you on point. There's some truth in the stereotypes, bro. I'm not mad.
Oh my god.
Still not blue. You still all right? Let me hell Lord. I did it, bro. All right, I'm gonna figure this out. Wow. Let me get through this chat and then I guess we can pass the ego. You can handle the first topic, subject, or whatever, and then I'll be trying to figure out how to mod hell. Cannoli Sasquatch. Me and him gonna be good when this supernatural thing go down. Like I said, them my peoples. He says, "Good morning, everyone. Let's get at this, man. We about to get at it. Y'all holding the show up, man, because y'all on fire, because y'all up in here running y'all mouths. I ain't mad at it though. Yo, scientists need to chill.
They do. Really
hey man, according to my last video, most scientists are white people. So y'all need to get your people in line. Tell them stop fucking around. Tricero Chicks, awesome name, and porno. Hey man, I wouldn't. It. Okay, I was just about to say I wouldn't watch the entire show, but I'll glance at it.
Wouldn't be my proudest fact, but I mean, you know.
I'll see what they talk about. Y'all remember that show? Let me not go there. Anyway. All right, y'all just saying what's up. Dempsey, I'm a big fan of the first 6 seasons of Supernatural. It should have ended there. I didn't watch Supernatural, but you remind me of this show called Being Human. I used to watch back in the day. And that was I liked it. I would have to revisit and figure out what exactly did I like about it, what was up. But you had a werewolf, a vampire, and a ghost living in under the same roof. And
did you finish it? It actually had an ending.
Yeah, I did, but it was so long ago.
It was actually pretty good. I mean, I watched it maybe 7 years ago. It was a pretty good ending. It was a solid ending, and I really liked it. I think you would have wanted the werewolf to be a little bit more dominant, but given his personality, they made it make sense. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it wasn't my type of werewolf, but then again, just the idea of I feel like it was executed well. So
It was.
some people say my bias with the because I like a certain werewolf will stop me from liking some werewolf or some supernatural content. And that's just not the case. This is not the case. Sweet meteor of death. I ain't with that, bro. My supernatural abilities ain't there yet to where I can fucking intercept the whole meteor and protect the world. I'm not there yet, so I don't need that. Choose Disney makes all content forever, every bit of it without no allies, or Amazon makes all content forever. You know what, Dempsey? For that, I will say Disney. Disney makes all the content because Disney has control of it is the company that I've loved that inspired me, and it's owning other ones that I enjoy that I love most others do. But because they make all of that, now you say they make all the content, period, that's fine for the mainstream, but then folks like us raise up, then I'll be competing with Disney. So I'm fine with that. Amazon is gonna be putting a bunch of I don't know shit I don't care about. But you know, the direct competition that I had with Dempsey, yeah, that was a rock in the hard place, but I think I just found a way to squeeze through. Nosferatu the vampire. See, he gonna be good too. That's another supernatural homie. We with it.
Right.
The monsters come through. We gonna be like, "What up, bro? You good? You finally made it over here? What's up? What's happening? What's happening over there? Peeking through the curtain, through the veil." Is that the show with the great Sam Witwer?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Yes, it
he
is.
know people. I don't really know people like that, but Supernatural had a good soundtrack too. Yes, Being Human was great.
Awesome.
Roman, I got wasted last night and fell asleep watching Grave Stream sitting up. LOL. I think I did too. Them dudes was going for a long time, but I was in there. I was watching. Werewolf from World of Darkness, best werewolves. Man, I can't think of what that is off the top of my head. Only watch for Megan Rath. That was the female. That was the ghost.
She was pretty hot. She played
she was.
Sally.
She was hot. I would have been trying to see if that ghost trying to throw something my way. All right. Anyway, all right. We're going through the chat. We done caught up. Yeah, ego. So let me send you that. Let me send you that link, y'all. So okay, we about to go over y'all see the thumbnail. Trying to up the thumbnail, trying to get them out earlier. I was still bullshitting this time and didn't get it out early enough. But hey, it's out there before the show. Y'all had a little something to look at, a little preview of what we talking about. So we got the whole Jennifer Lawrence thing. You know, she talking about she was the first woman, yada yada yada. Then she backpedaled. Then she backtracked. We might get into that. But that Transformers, the director came out talking about that was some race relations will be explored, and that as well as addressing the James Gunn cancellations of the DC movies, and then his response to some of that. So those are the topics. That's what we got for y'all. I'm about to send Ego the link to this first video. You know what? Okay. Because it's not really an article. So I'm just gonna play that, and while that's happening, hell, I will address what you got going on, and then we'll talk about that.
Okay, throw it up there, bro.
All right. Share my screen.
All right, and I'll share mine. I got a follow-up for that too, for what she got.
For the Jennifer Lawrence, all right.
Yeah.
Y'all see that?
Nah,
y'all don't see it. I have to
add to the stream.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, Miss Cannoli Sasquatch just hopped up in here. Hello, gentlemen. How you doing? Miss Lady. All right, we about to check that out.
Let's do it.
I want to circle back to you being the lead of Women King, and we're at, I think it's 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, 66 million domestic. I mean, it is just, it couldn't have been more wrong. And I thought it was I just love seeing stories like that of, I remember when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie because it wouldn't work. We were told girls and boys can both identify with a male lead, but boys cannot identify with a female lead. Oh, absolutely.
I call bullshit
to the highest degree.
Makes me so happy every single time I see a movie come out that just blows through every single one of those beliefs and proves that it is just
Look at my Aldi. She's like, girl, you lying.
Yeah.
Her face is like, why you always lying?
Nah, she with it though. She with it. This is the oppression Olympics, and both of them like, girl, we running the same race.
Oh man.
Keep certain people out of the movies, to keep certain people in the same positions that they've always been in. And
Now look, okay. So y'all done already seen this. So, you know, us pause and all that type of stuff, y'all with it, but we just addressing these. Now, I do want to address this like comment by comment, but that would take forever. But now this is something I noticed with the oppression Olympics, especially when it comes to women. So you'll have, and I just went over this in the last video I just did talking about the sharks, but you'll have a white woman and then you'll have a colored woman. And a white woman be like, women were taken out of these places, we couldn't do this and we couldn't do that. And then the black woman would be like, yeah, we couldn't do it, and we definitely see no black woman do it. So it's like even more of an issue.
Put down, yeah.
And you see how Jennifer Lawrence is looking at her, talking about using getting those emotional reactions, talking about putting certain people out of certain places. Now she know black people know about that in America, so it's just like, you know, she looking at her like in her eyes, like, you know what I'm talking about. You know about that. You got that plight, right?
I was gonna say, I know that you're 4 minutes in, but if you look at the original transcript, this is how she starts out. She's basically like, where does she say this? She's like, where did she put it on here? She was saying that the first thing she said to Viola Davis was how Fences changed her life with Denzel Washington. And I'm like, what the fuck? Out of all the movies she's done before that, Fences, the struggle black love movie, is the movie that changed your life. Really? Are you sure? And then she's like, I think that The Woman King is the best movie I've ever seen this year, hands down, and the best movie I've seen in so long. I heard an interesting story about how it came to you, and you're like, this is terrible dialogue.
Yes.
My IQ is dropping every time that I'm reading this. And it's like, did you even do any research beforehand? At all?
And then with the you know, I be shitting on how black folks treat and how these folks be responding. But so what was the black, I guess, box office or hot movies to come out with? Woman King, right? And then we got Wakanda Forever, both black struggle movies, and then now Will Smith come out with the Emancipation. So
I thought this movie was about his divorce.
Nah, bro, he kissed that bald head of Jada, bro. He in there. I know you saw that, but so yeah, man, I'm not with it. No. And then that will kind of lead over into the Transformers things, because I looked into the director of Transformers. Now I'm not saying he's just a black struggle director, but yeah, it's like you can debate it, but we're not there yet, Ego. We're not there yet. But it seems like they get these black folks out there to talk that can push this struggle narrative, right? And I'm not tired of it. I'm tired of that. I'm not trying to see that shit anymore. I want better black people complaining about some life that they wanted to have or couldn't have, and like, we're finally there. Compare yourself to the other people that's making movies and killing it. Stop comparing yourself to other black folks that ain't there.
Exactly. And I was gonna say, with that, I wanted to show y'all this, because she's saying that no one had ever thought about this before she came on the scene. And I'm like, are you serious? You really cannot be serious with what you've got. So I'm gonna show y'all this. Look at this.
Look at this.
Look at this. Look at this. Come here, look at this. Look at this. Come here, look at this. So we're looking at Linda Carter, was in 1975, was fine Wonder Woman. She's still fine today for what? Being in her into her 60s. We got Ripley here from Sigourney Weaver. That was at least 1979. There was Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor in Terminator 1 and 2. Thelma and Louise, if you want to check that for that. And on top of that, we've actually got the one person they didn't mention, who actually was kind of like the first black female star. And I can actually tell you, for her, that was what was her name? That was Pam Grier. Jackie Brown, Coffee. I forget the other movie she's been in, but she was actually the first black female action star. Like, it was Shaft and it was Pam Grier. Like, you knew if you had a movie with either one of them in it, it's going to be action, it's going to be revenge, it's going to be the whole bit. So I don't know what the hell she's talking about by saying, oh, well, they hadn't done this before they hired me. I'm like, hell, Gina Carano's Hairwire came out a full year and a half before your movie dropped. And
I had said Sucker Punch came out the year before that.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
So that
what
was
you
a
talking about.
that was a cast of women. Cast of women. You got Charlie's Angels. Like I'm not too much into the live action, but when she said that, so I was the thing when she said the boys and girls can identify with a male lead, but only but males can't identify with a female lead, little boys. And I was like, you lying broad. I don't like to call folk bitch, but broad. Because Mulan is on my list of top Disney movies. I was a young boy. Like I said, the representation of that was I'm simply looking at a child that's going to war in place of her father. She wasn't trying to fight the patriarchy. She understood like, hey, if I get caught, I could die. But my love for my father overrules the consequences or that fear that I might have. And then along with Mulan, okay, Pocahontas was a lead, so we had race relations with that. So I've been seeing folks talking about some, brown folks and white folks need to come together. We love one another, love nature to be good for everybody. But then you got shit like Kim Possible. We had Kim Possible. Call me, beat me when you want to reach me. I was right there singing the shit out that song. I hear folks right now with the doot 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 on their phone. I be like, hey, you a real one. You a real one. Kim, I say Juniper Lee. She was on the supernatural stuff. She was the Teshwan Z, so she was out there kicking monsters' asses and having to do it before school. You know what I'm saying? Before the bell rings, shit like that. The list goes on, bro. Powerpuff Girls. I've never seen. I don't think I've seen to this day in a cartoon, especially. Heroes beat the shit out of their villains on a regular basis to where you see teeth missing, swole eyes. Was it blood? I can't say for sure it was blood, but they was definitely spitting up teeth.
They were leaking.
They was leaking. They was you had the cast on, you know what I'm saying? They on crutches, all that type of good stuff. And them little girls was in kindergarten.
Hands, chopping it up.
I need to see that instead of that goddamn garbage reboot they came out with. I want to see a continuation of the Powerpuff Girls. Word. I've seen fan art where the girls going toe to toe with like Superman or like jumping Superman or like with the Justice Friends. So that was a great cartoon universe where all of them was like crossing over. And then I think the girls what was the episode? They wouldn't let them be in the Justice Friends because they was because they was girls and they was young. And then they fucking Monkey ended up being on the squad. Look, we could go all day on some goddamn female characters that's been running shit. All right, but that was my thing. I know I'll be fighting for the kids, but just saying how, or her saying that boys and girls can both. It's like, look, how the fuck can a girl identify with a male lead, but a male can't identify with the female? Like, what in the genetics like caused that shit to happen? Anyway, let me get back to this clip. We got real off track, but on track at the same time. I know the comments going crazy.
I'm pulling up comments as we go, bro. Keep going.
Okay.
And it's just amazing to watch it happen and watch you at the.
Let me go back.
That they've always been.
See, because she said, and to watch you. So she's trying to throw it back on like, back me up, Viola Davis. You feel me, right? You feel me? God damn.
It's just amazing to keep certain. It's just a lie. To keep certain people out of the movies, to keep certain people in the same positions that they've always been in. And it's just amazing to watch it happen and watch you at the helm. And my God, the stakes in that movie, I thought the director just did.
Now, look, okay, because I'm going to address the point that she says right here, but I hope Viola Davis, talking about she did all this training and these women so tough and all that good shit. I hope don't nobody run up on Viola Davis and her ass buckle and scream for some goddamn help. Girl, you better take some of that training you learned from that movie, and I better say you beat the shit out of a man. Pull a sword out, cut his ass up. I don't care. Handle your business. Otherwise, there's a whole bunch of bullshit being spewed. But then Jennifer Lawrence says this right here. So apparently, and a lot of people want to attack. Well, she didn't exactly say that she was the first. She said she was told that she was the first. Well, my thing is Jennifer Lawrence. It makes it worse because you just let somebody tell you this and you just believed it. Your grown ass couldn't go back and say, well, you couldn't check that man that told you this. Apparently, you couldn't come up with the list that we coming up with off the top of our heads and say, excuse me, sir, these women have done this, and that. I'm about to be with them. And that would have been dope. That would have been dope if she would have said that. These people would come clean. But no, it's all victim narrative. It's all victim narrative. But what she says right after this.
Did such a beautiful job in some of the stakes in that movie. I thought the director just did such a beautiful job in some of those action shots where the stakes were so high, and you absolutely kill me. I can't remember who said this about you, but I know that it wasn't me. So I just want to give, I think it was your 60 Minutes interview that he said you.
So she don't say it right now, and I'm tired of listening to this broad. We can kind of end it, but so she just said it was a wonder, like it was a great time, whatever, to work with that director. Well, that's where I asked the question. Well, who told you that you being a woman wouldn't work? Who told you this lie to your face? Because I feel like you would have some type of issues or resentment towards them, but you just said it was a wonderful time working with this director. And I guess you directed The Woman King too, because then later on in the video, they talk about their experience of working with this man. So it's like, okay, well, if the director of the movie ain't telling you this shit, then who told you? Apparently that ain't important. And if it was this dude who told you this, then why are you praising him in the same conversation?
Agreed.
It was some else to say. I think it was later on in the video. Like I said, I don't want to stay there too long, too much, but man, you got some thoughts on that before we just leave there? Again, I don't want to stay there too long, because she tried to backtrack and take it all the way and be like, no, what I really meant was, so yeah.
For me, it's the fact that I was trying to look up some of her early career, and from what I can recall, her breakout role was like at the age of 16, right? So she got started in acting really young. The only thing is the fact that when you go back to your more traditional TV and movie actors, I will give you Henry Winkler as an example. I watched the Inside of You podcast that God, I forget his name right now, but he used to play Lex Luthor on Smallville, and he actually interviewed Henry Winkler, and he says like, hey, I went to this elementary school, this middle school, this high school, then I went to an actual acting school. We actually did plays, we remembered our lines, we rehearsed, we knew the history behind the story that we were actually presenting, and then I went and started commercials, then I got on TV, then I did movies. And so these people know history, know the concept of the characters they're trying to portray, so they're very intelligent when they actually go about a role. Contrast that with Jennifer Lawrence, who's just like, well, hey, you look like you could be in something, get on TV. And so you don't get the education that prior actors and actresses did. And so you get to the point where if all you do is read lines and you're after the next role and you don't study the actual history of the films that you're actually going on, you wind up like a dummy. You wind up looking like a big dum-dum. First of all, who didn't give this chick cue cards and tell her reading is fundamental? Like, hey, stick to your points in the card, because she didn't name the director. She couldn't really name the quote. So the thing is, I'm not sure you even saw The Woman King. I think you just read the reviews, said, okay, I'll pick this here, that there, and just say, oh, it was amazing. It was wonderful. She couldn't really reference anything specific either.
Right, but she did make a reference, and it was Rotten Tomatoes. So she referenced the Rotten Tomatoes score. That said it made like $60-something million in the box office, which I don't think that's a lot of. Yeah, that's not a lot of money, but
no.
And I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm gonna give it right back to you. But that's another thing. They praise the mediocre accomplishments of Black people. So it's like your standard Black person is down here, and as long as you can get past that, then you're doing something. Where, like I said, with these Black struggle directors, as opposed to comparing them with themselves to other directors or creators who've been blowing shit out the water, they just comparing it to basically, I'm doing this for all the Black folks that ain't did it. I'm stepping on everybody else because I'm here. I'm into the industry, but they don't try to elevate themselves to the people who's been doing it. It's just, as long as I'm better than everybody else that look like me, I'm killing it. Praise me.
It's like, well, I mean, you were hot for a minute, but I mean, your minute's up. To me, it's like you won an Oscar very early, and so now you're just trying to chase that acclaim and that high for when you won your initial Oscar. And it's like, well, hey, at this point, you need to actually do more historic roles and actually do research. But after hearing what you talked about, I was like, yo, I can't have no dummies in the squad.
Yeah.
Please read. Please read.
Somebody else, I think it was Anna, that Star Wars girl, but she had made a good point because she was like, Jennifer Lawrence, you're an actress. All right, I say actor. I use gender neutral language. I guess you're just a fucking actor to me. But just like you going to all these award shows and all this, so you're surrounded by all of these women that you just shat up on. Did you not ever like talk to them? Oh, I enjoy working with you. Kind of like how she doing with fucking Viola Davis right now. You never did that in your personal time to actually form a relationship or, get to actually know these people or pick their brains, get their insight from the women that came before.
Well, I was gonna say, and even in the interview, like there's a book by I think it's Joseph Navarro about like what everybody's saying. It's basically he was an FBI investigator, and he was actually like a human lie detector. So he tells you how to spot when something's truthful or something that's not necessarily the most true. Doesn't mean they're lying. It just means they're not really fully telling you the truth. One of the things he told you was like the faces is like the first thing you learn to fake. But the one thing that you should know is that there are two types of smiles. Smiles when your face goes back like this, and the smile where it comes up and your eyes actually wrinkle. If you look at Viola Davis, the smile is flat. It's not. Yeah. So she's like, what the fuck is this bro talking about? You can see it in her face that her smile isn't an actual genuine smile. It's like, next topic, please. So,
yeah. Dempsey, Powerpuff Girls versus Spidey and Friends. Look, I'm a big ass Spider-Man fan. Powerpuff Girls all day. They'll beat the hell out of them folks.
I brought up most of the chat links while we were talking on there too.
I saw you, but I don't know how how far up you went. If you already pulled it up, like just
I did, man.
You already pulled this up. We didn't comment, bro. I know. There go my answer. Powerpuff Girls gonna beat the hell out of Spider-Man.
I know.
Iceman, they gonna shatter his ass. Hit Girl was dope. Yeah, I saw you pull up the Nosferatu flashback to white people being banned from Black Panther. Was they ass banned from Woman King? So I don't know how Jennifer Lawrence saw it. Unless she was sitting there at the door peeking in through the little window. Snow Dub, we'll pull up Snow Dub. He up in here. Hey kids, what up, bro? What up, bro? Yeah, they just jerking each other off. These rich folks be talking good shit on the camera. Still going through. Look at all y'all. Powerpuff Girls, Bubbles for Life. Xena never happened. Look, man, I didn't watch Xena, but yep, I grew up. All the old folks around me who had that shit on coming up. Dinosaur too. I just said that because of the conversation earlier. Dinosaur, y'all know, not the mama. That it just. I remember the older people smoking their cigs and watching this type of stuff. It was like TNT was hot back in the day.
Oh my god.
Michael Rosenbaum played Luthor, also voiced the Flash, and
that's what I was looking for. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the animated series.
Yep, Buffy, some show called Charmed. Again, I didn't watch it, but women was out there kicking ass. Yeah, bro. If you put up the comment, I'll give you $100 if she actually watched The Woman King, bro. I would too. I know she didn't watch this shit. Phil, did we pull up Phil comment?
Yes.
As a black. Okay, I need some resume. Yep. Sean up in here. I think I did see you pull up Sean comment. Glad you up in here, sir. I only worship Jada Pinkett. You and Will. He probably know about it. You probably you got Jada on the weekends? He got out through the week. I'm just talking shit, bro. I still love Will Smith. He's a piece of shit, but I love Will Smith as the person that I thought he was. Okay, not as who he's revealing himself to be, but yeah. I'm only a few thousand years old. I'm still young on the inside. I feel you, bro. I feel you. You drop Snow Dub's channel, people. When we drop these links, it ain't for our own goddamn health. Go to them. Subscribe. Check out the content. Check out the content. Marvel made Black Panther a racist ass shield for themselves, bro. It's disgusting. Agreed. Xena the Princess Warrior was awesome. Xena rules. Look at the Xena simps. Xena simp. Look, I saw that the sweaty woman with the muscles kicking ass. I was with it. C4C, that dinosaur show freaked me out. One episode, the son got bit by a were caveman and turned into a were dino.
What the
hell? that show was great. And when I did have Disney Plus, that was one of the first things I watched. I binged through that, got through that. Great stuff. Great stuff. All right, man. We got anything else on that? We want to praise any more women while we're here. Because like I said, she did backtrack and say she didn't really mean that. We don't have to read an article or pull all that up. She's trying to, take it back because she just got shot up on by the entire world.
She did. It was hilarious.
All right. The next topic, people, we got. Let me exit that out. My computer old. I don't have the RAM, GPU, all that good stuff to be holding this shit up here too long. But the next one is the Transformers. We haven't reacted to the Transformers on this show podcast. I did it on the stream throughout the week. We don't have to watch it here, but have you seen the trailer?
Oh, have I seen the trailer?
Yeah, Transformers. Rise
of
the Beast.
I saw it, and I was wondering why they kept trying to play the acapella Biggie Smalls.
Okay, so
juicy. I'm sorry.
So no, you good. Before we actually address these comments, because I think a lot of people were. I'm not gonna say excited. A lot of people were excited. A lot of people was like, "Hey, I'm ready to see this." The fans of Transformers and Beast Wars. Mm-hmm. I don't know how normies thought about it. I don't really talk to nobody no more in my personal life, but about entertainment, because why do that? But so, what are your thoughts from first seeing it, and then we can address our thoughts after hearing what the director had to say about it, and see how these people put their feet in their mouth and just make folks just be like, "Fuck that!" Like James Cameron talking about testosterone, like shit like that, bro. So, what were your thoughts on the trailer? Because we have not talked about it really.
Well, I mean, at first I thought it was cool that because I hadn't seen Transformers turn into animals, which is what I thought was cool to me. I thought it was cool they turned more so into animals than cars. Cars, I mean, you kind of play with like micro machines, and when the original Transformers came out, you flip them in and out, and you knew how it would work. But animals is like a totally different beast, no pun intended. So when they gave me the story, I was like, okay, maybe this is a reboot of sorts or a continuation, because they had 7 movies come out after this, and I guess they're just trying to go for the nostalgia by playing Biggie Smalls. Maybe the copyright or the royalties, or it's public domain now, maybe, because everything looked like it was current year. So I'm like, okay, you know what? If this is a new starting point and it's a reboot of sorts, you know what? I'm in. I was actually kind of excited about it. I know that they chose one of the lead actor. I'd seen him in the Heights movie that came out, which is actually really good. I don't know if people were saying woke this, woke that. It really wasn't. I actually really enjoyed the story. Like Lin-Manuel Miranda can direct a musical like nobody's business. So I was like, okay, he's actually getting a lead role in something, and they're trying to make it updated. I was like, yo, I'm in. What were your initial thoughts?
I was interested. I did grow up with Beast Wars. I grew up with Transformers adaptations, not the OG, not the 80s G1. Cartoon Network came out with their adaptations. I was a kid. I thought that was cool. Netflix adaptation was cool that came out recently. It did focus on like Cybertron and their whole war. And I don't remember seeing a human. I didn't watch like the last one. I think there was like 3 little mini little showings or whatever it's called. But I'm a fan of Transformers. But when I saw this, I don't know an exact story to actually reference, or watching this, I couldn't be like, well, I didn't know what they were going for. Supposedly these are made up movie villains or whatnot, but I was interested. Now I'm not paying for anything coming out of the mainstream, so I'm not going to the theater to watch this shit. But I was going to pay attention. I was going to catch it later on, or as they say, sail the high seas. Possibly I would have. I was interested enough to check it out. It was big ass robots shooting shit, blowing shit up, fighting. Yeah. Okay,
Transformers and everything. Yeah,
Transformers was fine, but when Beast Wars came out, I was like, okay, these are my Transformers. This is my shit. So yeah, I grew up with the Beast Wars. So to see this actually come about, it's interesting. I was intrigued, but at the same time, from that trailer, I didn't see Megatron, and I think Megatron is a big appeal to the Transformers movies. There are a lot of fucking Decepticons who are high-ranking Decepticons real threats, but you know, we know Megatron, and he's a goddamn T-Rex. So I didn't get to see any of the Predacons, so that kind of took me out of it. So I'm just like, all right, I'll just take it for what it is. But yeah, Megatron was the T-Rex. You got Dinobot, the Raptor up in there. You had the other folks who were like fucking bugs. They're fucking cool. So yes, I was excited seeing this, but it's not enough. I was intrigued, but it was not enough to be excited until like later on, and then we see other stuff. But since the news has come out of what's being pushed, it was funny to me because during the trailer they got the Biggie song, and he says, "Well, if you don't know, now you know." And the lyric to that is the N word. Okay, ninjas. I'm trying to get better at not saying it. I realized I really don't need that in my vocabulary or to be saying it as much. But that was funny to me that they kept playing that one part of that song and then stopping right there at that word. And then I don't know. Then this news come out and I'm just like, okay, it's a whole bunch of racial stuff going on highlighted.
It made so much sense once you saw the article.
Yeah. All right, let's get to that. Appreciate y'all being up in here, you know, like all that type of stuff. Share it out if you feel like it. I think Flash has said on one stream, I can't recall any time I've actually shared a stream out. Shame on me, sure, whatever. But you know, if y'all feel compelled to do that, make that happen. And Zach just hopped up in here. What up, Zach? Appreciate you, man. We got his Christmas hat. On. Into the spirit. Y'all, Christmas. Drop some what's some Christmas movies that y'all enjoy? I'll go first. I'll go ahead and start it off because a lot of people been streaming about this, talking about this. My favorite Christmas movies are the Tim Allen's The Santa Clauses. All three of them. I watch all three every fucking year.
Are you watching the show? You're not watching the show, are you?
Son, no.
No. Okay, I wanted to warn you about that, you know.
Now I watch Pops' reviews of it, and you know, that's enough for me. That's enough for me. Nosferatu, A Christmas Story, hands down. Nosferatu. I remember the whole BB gun thing from that movie. I watched the movie. It's not a favorite of mine, but look, I got shot in the eye with a BB gun. That shit is real. Okay, kids are fucking crazy. Supervise your kids. That's all I'm gonna say. I survived. I came out with my fucking eyeball still there, my orb. So
Jesus.
But yeah, so let's get into that article and then I'll refer back to the chat. We can catch all of it. Look at that Elf. Yep. Man, hey, I love Will Ferrell. I'm not too much into like praising actors or the people and whatnot, but Will Ferrell is a guy that if he's in something, I got eyes on it. I'm checking it out. All right, y'all, let me get to this article. We're here to have fun, but I want to bring y'all the news as well. All right, now this is coming from Bounding in the Comics. All right. Y'all see that? Is it here? Is it presented? It is not.
That's this stream. There we go.
All right, my fault. Technology. Goddamn. Hey, Take It Home podcast. He hopped up in here. My fault, bro. I didn't highlight that. Bad Santa was funny. Yes, Bad Santa is fucking hilarious. Did y'all see the sequel? I remember the sequel, but not as much as
the first one. There was a sequel?
I think it was a sequel, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
I definitely didn't see that. If there was a sequel, I definitely didn't see it.
Yeah, man. But yeah. All right. Transformers: Rise of the Beast director Stephen Caple Jr. says film will tell a story about Black and Latin culture. Now, what does this mean? Does this mean he actually said that and they're quoting it, or is this just inserted in there?
I think it's implied because he might have said something beforehand and then said that, and it's kind of inferring that he was saying before that it's going to tell about Black and Latin culture because there apparently isn't enough of us. Okay. And in a movie about fucking transforming cars and animals and shit, we gonna focus on the Black and brown human. But anyway, exactly.
All right. While most fans are presently concerned with whether or not the film will feature an appearance by a certain purple-scaled incarnation of Megatron, director Stephen Caple Jr. has assured those concerned with Transformers: Rise of the Beast human element that the Maximals' upcoming cinematic debut will tell a story about Black and Latin culture. Now look, that's my thing with Bounding in the comics. Like I said, you can kind of tell there's a bias. You can tell they are one of us, but they have the news. So the fact that they're saying, while most fans concerned with whether or not a purple scaled incarnation of Megatron will come about in here, they're focused on the human aspect. And I just told you that before because I haven't even read this article all the way through. I've heard about it, but
I read ironically, do you know where this article actually comes from?
No.
It's from BET.
Okay.
So I'm just like that should have been my cue. The minute I saw that this was the main place it comes up is BET. So the minute I saw it, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to watch this as much as I thought. Go ahead, man. Damn. But that's where they're getting the story from.
Hey, but look, that's what I just said. I was like, I'm waiting on Megatron. I want to see the actual fucking Predacons. I don't care about these new characters they throwing in here. That's what I want to see. So that's what I mean. Bound in the comics, they're speaking like a real fan of this shit, who's actually trying to impact the culture war positively. But there you go. He was saying that's what the movie is going to focus on. Continue on. Cable Jr., perhaps best known as the director behind Creed 2, revealed his narrative direction for the Autobots' next Earth-based adventure during a recent interview with BET. Ryan Knox, asked by the outlet for his feelings on being given the reins to such a major franchise, the director jovially observed, "You came straight out the gate with that one," before answering in earnest, "It's been an emotional ride." It's been 2 years now, Transformers, yeah. And I talk about having this type of opportunity, but also understanding it's our time, he recalled. For us to be in this position where we can tell a story about our culture. This ain't what you here for, bro. Our people, and see ourselves portrayed on the big screen, blending in with these vast genres is special.
Michael Pena is in the corner like, am I a joke to you, bro?
Bro, who looks at fucking Transformers and want to see what the humans do?
I don't know, but all I know is this film has been officially negrified, and now it will be referred to as the Mexicans versus the African Americans. Okay, and every time I hear, I'm thinking of skin pigment and changing, and all the stereotypes are going to come with it. Because obviously, you don't care about real Transformers.
Okay, fix that. Afromos, because you got Maximals; those are the animals. So the Afromos,
Afromos
versus what you say? What you say? The Hispanic Predacons was Mexicans. So Afromos versus Mexicans. I love it, bro. I love it. God damn. Okay. So that's what we seeing right now. So RC. Damn. RC is a female now, so this is Brittany Griner.
God damn. Savage, sir.
Oh shit. Okay, all right, y'all. Just we having fun. Get back to it. There are not too many people on the actor or director side to be in this position on this scale and scope, and we're doing our best to carry this weight. Cable Jr. then asserted. Okay, that goes back to what I said, because apparently he worked on Creed 2. Now I thought Ryan Coogler did the Creeds, but
I thought he did too.
He must co-direct some shit. I don't know, but it's still because even if he did, him and Ryan Coogler did working on it or whatever, it's still us, we're doing it. So there's still, that's what I mean, bro, putting a foot on all these other black folks. So like, I don't want to say crab in a bucket mentality, but it's like, look, we doing this, all eyes on us, as opposed to what you got to say. What you saying?
I was gonna say there was an interview I did with a guy named what was this dude's name? Fobbs. He's a guy we met back at the San Antonio Comic-Con. And I did an interview with him weeks back, and I'll probably drop at some point. But he was saying that every time it's us either directing a movie, starring in the movie, or even being in a supporting actor or actress in a movie, we always have to see like it's this altruistic, better than what it is thing. It's like, I'm carrying the hopes and dreams of my people. And you're like, no, the only people that actually really did that are two people, Jackie Robinson and Sidney Poitier. Anyone else can kick rocks after that, because that's a real door opener. And so now I'm just like, well, hey, I just walked into an open door. So if anything, it's having the humility to say, hey, look, I'm not the first, won't be the last. I'm just walking in the door of great actors and actresses that showed, hey, talent's going to trump whatever politics you got or whatever biases that you have. Like, that's the main point when it comes to these movies. All you're doing is telling me all the buzzwords that make me think that your movie's not going to be good at all.
Now, when like I said, when these colored folks come out here and say stuff like that, I think what the industry, we hear the only color they care about is green. Yes, there's definitely some truth to that, but again, with all of the pushing of certain messaging and this agenda type stuff, I'm a conspiracy theorist. All right, so I will say that I think all of this is being calculated. It is trying to emphasize or create this mentality in people of this like victimhood, like we're saying with the oppression type stuff. I do think that is being pushed to socially engineer peoples. But this dude, okay, you're working on Transformers. Why are you not comparing yourself to other, like I said earlier, other action or directors or whatnot, as well as Michael Bay? Because you're building this movie is based off of what he's done, a soft rebooted in a way. And why isn't so Michael Bay started this Transformers universe? We're putting our little spin on it, our twist. I'm hoping that I can do the series justice and take it further and elevate it even more so. There you go. And I hope we can create something that fans will enjoy. Everybody loves the Transformers, the Autobots turned into machines, and I'm trying to bring something new with the Beast Wars. Where's the I grew up with the Beast Wars, and I want to see that done justice. All of that. Where's the talk about the actual fucking product, as opposed to I'm bringing real world issues into the Transformers goddamn world. Right. Because I know the Transformers looking at it like, well, goddamn, we had a civil war on our own goddamn planet. Now we coming over here, we getting mixed into another one. Megatron said with these little fleshies, these little meat bags, bro.
They telling us it don't matter when the Afrobots and the Mexicans come from a different planet. We're still fighting each other. Like we had the Thalokans go against the Wakandans.
Yeah.
And now we've got the Afrobots and the Mexicans. Okay, I see what it is. And the funny thing is it's black directors pushing this.
Yeah.
Is no one else paying attention to that?
That's what I mean, bro. They get these black mouthpieces out there, so it validates everything. So then you even got white folks coming at us like, y'all racist. That black person said this and yada yada yada. And he felt it was the best move to kill T'Challa and all that type of shit. I'm like, look, white folks would have been heavily criticized if they made the moves and said the shit that these folks are saying. So that's why they make sure they get somebody that looked like us to come out there and say the shit. What Jennifer Lawrence was just doing, she was looking at Viola Davis like, yeah, right, yeah, we fighting and all this type of shit, bro. Get the fuck out of here with that, man.
And when they're caught saying something racist by someone that's not black or Mexican, they'll be like, hey, here's my complexion protection card. Yep. You're the racist. Uno reverse, bitch.
Yep. So it's disgusting. Let me get through the article. Well, I read that right. Yep. No matter how many times Anthony and I look at each other on set, tired and all, we realize we're able to do something special and for a reason, the director added. We created something special and it feels great to be in this position. Super honored and blessed. To this end, Cable Jr. then explained the decision to use the notorious B.I.G.'s popular Juicy track in the film's first teaser trailer. Well, you shouldn't have used it, bro, because now I wonder why you couldn't say nigga. Why you stop that song every time at that one word? Because people who know that song is like, oh, why you gonna say it? What's going on? Because if a white person directed it, we could have called racism. But because a black dude said, oh, he just representing for his people. It's like you can get all the niggatry on display if a black person do it. It's okay. Let them just wild and out. It's disgusting, bro. The movie takes place in the 90s when the album Ready or Die was released. So that's why Juicy was the perfect record to choose, said the director. His voice and what he meant in that era and time captures much of what we're doing in this film. Now, look, if Biggie put out a song and people was at the concert or whatever was the album party, as soon as some goddamn big ass robots jumped out the sky, everybody would be like, fuck that song. Let me get to safety. What's happening? And then Megatron, look, then you get a transformer come through there because Bumblebee was using the radio. And then they was like, what's going on? What's going on? And then some Transformers said, well, if you don't know, now you know. Ooh, Jazz could have said it. Jazz could have said it, bro. I was just having fun, bro. I was just having fun. But yeah, so that song is important because this dude made a hot track during the time that this movie is set.
I mean, even if you're trying to go with I'd say if you'd have made it current year, what would have been a better song would have been Ludacris's "Move, Bitch, Get Out the Way."
Yes,
that would have been way better for a car. Because there's a guy named I-20 that's rapping on that too. You're like, that makes sense, especially if he came with somebody and like they raced each other or they gotta transform out and start a brawl, and then he shoves them to the side, and then Bumblebee's "Move, bitch, get out the way." You'd be like, Bumblebee got some swag.
I feel you. Now
that's all.
I wouldn't want to see Bumblebee like singing it, but like we see in that shot with him and Cheeto racing, if he's playing that, and you know how they play the song in the movie, and then it just get amplified, and that's like the track for the movie. Everybody hear it. If that happens, and you see, and I was saying this to John, I would like to see. I don't always want to see high stakes, fighting for the fate of the universe or the world type shit. I want to see some downtime in the movie, like a cool down period where we can just relax and enjoy it. So if the Transformers was, because you got the Autobots and the Maximals kind of like meeting each other. So there's this tension. You even see it with Optimus and with Prime and Primal. When Optimus pointing the cannon at Primal, he's like, oh, I'm not the villain. So you got this little tension between them. And if you see a moment like that to where, like you said, the Maximals come through, the Transformers fighting somebody and whatnot, and then that song pop out, "Move, bitch, get out the way." I'd be like, dang.
It would have been hilarious.
These Maximals coming with the heat. That would have been cold. But then, shit, I think I'm just throwing this out there. I think Ron Perlman does the voice for Optimus Primal. I would have appreciated if a black dude did the voice for Optimus Primal. And I wouldn't call racism on that one. If he a dope ass character.
The only person that really could have done it and done it justice is no longer with us, and that's Michael Clark Duncan. He's played an ape before. He was on Planet of the Apes.
Yes, but at the same time, I mean, like
Kevin Grievous.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, right. we do have some that are here that could have done that role. And I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, instead of just talking about, I'm black, I'm doing this and all that type of shit, actually put black people in the thing and don't talk about it. Just elevate those voices or give those people those shots. Like I said, that crab in the bucket, he talking about all this shit he doing, but okay, how many of your brothers and sisters did you elevate by putting in this movie? Now, I'm not saying pull a Lion King remake garbage 2018 where everybody's fucking black, because then that's the that's the importance and not the talent. But I would have loved to see or hear some of that, some known black voices or some not known ones, and to just go and see, like, damn, that voice was dope in this movie. Who did this voice? And then you look them up. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh shit, this person,
And actually, I forget who was saying it, but they were saying that Robin Williams, and I got this from John A. Douglas's stream, that he was saying that Robin Williams was scared to take on the role of Genie as Aladdin because he said that in the future, movie studios are actually going to be looking towards more actors to do voice acting instead of finding actually good voice actors and elevate them to this role of being in the spotlight with these movies. Yeah. And so it was like, honestly, like, wait, like Phil Lamar is not out in these streets, really? Yeah. The guy that's voiced countless characters, white, black, and other. Mm-hmm. You've got Kevin Grievous, who would have been an awesome voice for Primal. and you're just picking these random people and saying, well, hey, this is me elevating us. It's like, well, no, you find people that are the best at what they do. And if they happen to be Black, that's something you just say, hey, look, they've been here the entire time. You should check these people out because
Yep.
they're at the top of their game in their industry, and they happen to be Black also.
Yeah, man. So he just focused on like, I'm a director. Yes, I'm doing this. Look at me. Look at me. Same way with the black chick from what's that? Rings of Power. I'm doing this for all the black some, and all that type of shit. And I'm just like, broad.
Right.
You
And
focusing on or bringing all this attention to a certain group. Talk for the fans. You'll reach way more people if you talk as a fan.
I think the more insulting thing when you hear British Black people talk about it is like, whoa, our problems aren't the same at all. It's like what you face overseas across the pond is different than what we faced. Y'all weren't brought here. Y'all immigrated to Great Britain. We were put here. It still doesn't make, whatever your struggle is different, but like you're actually of African descent living in Europe. It's like, well, hey, ours is transatlantic slave trade. We really can't do anything about it, and we can't really go anywhere else. But the problems that we face are unique to our region. And the fact that they make it a bigger thing than it is over there than for us is like, well, y'all were free. These are the problems you face because you came here. So it makes it almost insulting when you see people like Idris Elba play characters like in The Wire. Like, didn't nobody know he was British until after the show was over. But it's like they put the British guy to play the worst version of a Black man on a show that was, frankly, for me, terrible in depicting all the problems that we as Black people are supposed to have.
Because you're talking about the British Black folks, I'm starting to feel, and I don't use this word too often, but I feel a certain level of cringe when I hear all of these American Black folks with these African voices or like dialects, like Wakanda Forever, Woman King, and then the Will Smith. Yeah, I saw the trailer for the Emancipation thing, and I'm just like, look, at what point does that become offensive? Because we African American, but the African was gone a long time ago. We American as fuck. So why are we trying to depict or be these people that's in this other on this other continent that are still fucking here? Like, why are we the same way you got the British Black people playing Americans? Now you got us playing fucking Africans. And it's just weird to me, man. I wonder how African people feel about that.
I don't know. It's just
like, we don't sound like that, bro.
I don't know. It usually depends. It's like if it's a good accent, you can get away with that. It's fine. Like people tell me all the time, I have a good Nigerian accent, but it's like I haven't talked to a Nigerian about it. But it's like I always do like the actual nice Nigerian. Like if you were to greet Nigerian at a hotel, he's like, "Hello, welcome to the Nigerian hotel. We are so glad you are here with us today." But I'm like, hey, this is the one that's jovial. I don't know. I've never met mad Nigerians. So Nigerians are always nice. It's like, hey, we want to make sure your stay is welcome here and you all have a great time. Are you from America? Oh my goodness, it is so nice to see you here today with us. I will give you a pamphlet on all the things that you can see here. Please, if you need anything, my name is Moses. And you have
all right, man, stop being racist. Stop being racist.
One of my neighbors was Moses and he was Nigerian. So take that.
You sound like the dudes from Blended. Adam Sandler.
See?
I love that movie.
See? But it's like
Terry Crews. He was being funny, bro. That was a comedy, so I will excuse it. But all these Black folks really trying to be serious Africans, bro.
I'm like, no. I mean,
weird.
Unless you told me you got like a speech therapist to help you get the dialect down correctly, which is possible because people do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Viola Davis did say that in that video, in that interview. She said you have to do the dialect work and all that. So
that's fine. Like if some people actually, that's part of what speech therapists will help you do is if you're trying to nail an accent for a particular role, they'll help you do that. The only problem I have is that when they bring British people that are Black over here, it's like they're more palatable to certain white people because they're not Black, they're foreign.
Yeah.
So they're like, so Idris, tell us how it was going to go down, how, you came with this idea for who you were going to play in The Wire. Well, I was at the pub with my mates and, we was watching So like this the Biggie Smalls and the Tupac drama, and we thought, hey, if I had a character like that, I think I could really do something. So then I looked up all these movies and I found these different accents that African Americans had, and so I brought that to the character that I was on the Wire, and that's how it came to be. And they're like, oh my god, he really nailed the Black experience.
Yeah.
So they're comfortable doing that, so they can be the worst versions of us. But when it comes to them saying, well, hey, talk about your character. Well, I like to talk about my other character named Luther. He actually is a great private investigator with Interpol and all the international agencies. And, I just really want to make sure that I portray this character to the best of my abilities. And so they can be seen as either or. They get to play the worst versions of us, but the best versions of themselves overseas. And because Americans are enthralled with Brits, it makes them even more palatable to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whereas, if it's us, it's like, it's always, well, hey, I'm so glad you're doing this for the culture. Like, what the fuck? The culture is the international enterprise of me. What are the culture talking about? I bring me to the table. Now I'm saying, hey, you'll find someone else, but you'll never find another. But you'll be able to look for someone else because you've seen what I can do. And I think that's, something as Black people is like, well, hey, it's supposed to be about showing some people what you can do, so that they'll be on the lookout for you and people that are like you. And so that's the problem that I have with what they've been doing lately, is the fact they're just getting Black and Latinos for the sake of it, and then expect them to say and parrot all the things of, how grateful they are to be in this position, but extolling the virtues of helping up your people.
All right, man. Let me get through these comments. No, you good. But shit, I would rather have Terrence Howard with War Machine than Don Cheadle.
I would too.
That just made me think of that. But
next time you take on the plane with me, okay, Tony?
Yeah, I need an actual African American. Don Cheadle, I guess he's African. Anyway, he ain't my War Machine. Mike says, since it's a reboot, do we get Jazz back? I thought I thought that car was Jazz, but that's Mirage. Hey man, I think we saw the shot with all the Transformers. I'm just gonna believe that them 4 little Transformers we saw, Bumblebee, Optimus, RC, and and Mirage. I think that's all we're gonna get, bro. I think they're gonna focus on the Maximals, but whatever. Going through the comments, Roman, you need some Canadian. He talking Roman. Why do female robots have boobs? Yeah, that's what I was wondering, bro. Like, how does fucking RC actually transition or pick a gender? Like, who says like, what you gonna put on the? I don't know, bro. I don't know. That's just weird to me. But Ripple mentioned this in the past, that every time it's a movie with Black people, the songs are always rap or something we don't get the same as others with the heroic music that's inspiring vibe. Yeah, bro. I said that in the Wakanda Forever trailer, you notice that they played the African version of a Jamaican song, but then once the 2 Black characters, the African and the African American, come together and they do the little hand clap, then you see the "we gonna be all right." So you get that rap in there, and I'm like, bro, y'all, like, you ain't hiding this shit, bro. I tweeted earlier about because it got the whole Peter Parker Spider-Man thing, so folks just arguing about that, and they don't realize how racist that shit is by calling this man Miles Morales Spider-Man. Like, every time when you see him, he got the fucking mask off so you can see he brown. Hey, I'm brown. I'm the Black dude. And then with the movies, and I'll talk about this a lot, it seems like live action or the real shit is more respected, and animation is not respected. It's a kid's medium. So what they do in the fucking Spider-Man movies, you got white Peter Parker up there, right? And then in Far From Home, No Way Home, you got 3 white ones up there. So you got them in the real movie because that's going to be respected. But we're going to throw the Black dude over here in the kids, the little animated one. And not only by himself, you got the white Peter there because they know people gonna need him. Yep. You got Gwen in there. You put him next to a goddamn Spider Pig, Spider Ham, the Asian one, another white one with Nick Cage's Spider-Man, the Noir, but he's black and white. So I'm like, they even know this dude can't stand on his own. You got to put all these other characters in there to make it actually worth watching. But and people, like I said, who praise it, they just don't see the racism in that, and that's wild. That's why I really don't care to argue with people about this shit no more. I'm like, you keep on praising these fucking themes presented. And all these white folks behind the scenes, like, hey, we got away with another one. We got away with another one. They didn't see it. Y'all let these folks kill y'all black king, and y'all praise the shit out of it.
Exactly.
Bro, all right, I can't do it. We ain't even done with the article. Let me get through these comments, and then I'll finish that shit.
Okay.
Score for a battle scene, heavy metal or rap. Yep, Roman. I know he probably out right now, but got a role. Great stream. You gonna hit me in a couple of weeks. Comic-based show. Looking at stories like The Ultimates, Kingdom Come, and The Dark Knight Returns. All right, Roman, be looking out. The Green Mile always gets to me. Later, Roman. Take care, Roman. Keep David. Yeah, I was gonna say keep David. Zax. But Mr. Jingles, what the fuck is that? Nosferatu. The Green Mile shows Tom Hanks peeing for way too much of the movie's runtime. Bro, I didn't watch a Green Mile. I seen 8 Mile. Phil Lamar is one of my favorite voice actors. He was great on Mad TV 2. Yep. Phil Lamar was wild as Vamp from Metal Gear Solid 2 and 4. I haven't played the Metal Gear Solid games, man.
Wow.
Staring at Tom Hanks' face close up for many seconds at a time. It zooms in on his face. Man, it's weird. Why he peeing? Do you hear the pee as it hits whatever is hitting? The evil Nacho Supreme wishes to dominate Earth. The leader of the Afrobots, Dreadlock, and his first in command, Bumbleweave, is all that stands in the way. Do Transformers movie? Probably. Hey, you probably can.
I wrote that down because that's actually something there.
It's pretty cool that 2 Mad TV cast members have been in Star Wars games. The other being Deborah Wilson.
Word.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I didn't play the. What's that dude name? The Andor dude. Cal Kestis. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree about American blacks playing Africans. I was saying that after the first Black Panther movie. Yeah, at this point, I'm just like, look, it's kind of weird now. The African Americans are the ones that actually came from Africa. Yep. People coming back here trying to send money back to their peeps. African people are insanely friendly. Yeah, I saw you put it up. I'm gonna blow AJ's mind. Jeremy Irons is white as fuck. Oh yeah, I know that, bro. I know that.
Definitely is. Yeah.
Get Jeremy Irons on a fucking Transformer. I'm all for it. Note to self: have Ego do voiceover work for a British character. Yeah, man, he doing them accents. When I saw Luther, I was blown away. And to be fair, the white detective from The Wire is Irish and also not American.
See, worst versions of blacks and whites. Damn.
You're wrong. Homie slaves were taken to England, not as much as USA, but they did exist. All right.
Agree. This is the thing is, I will say that even if that did happen, it would change the fact that then British Navy went around the world trying to end slavery. It's like, yo, we mess this up. Y'all are free. And to make up for it, we're going around the world, like actually freeing slaves. If you've got a slave ship, we're liberating all the slaves, making whoever's slave trading either walk the plank or you're dying or you're going to jail. So that's more than any other nation in the world did once they realized they messed up with the slave trade. So yeah, they did exist. I'm just saying that I actually would give props to Britain for going around the world trying to end their mistake.
Look, I don't care to talk history. All right, shit was fucked up. It happens. You got a good idea of what happened, but at the same time, it was the information that was presented to us. So I don't care to take it for gospel. But yeah, we here now. What we gonna do about it? Imagine Denzel as War Machine. I think Denzel takes his acting career too seriously to be in a fucking Marvel movie. Or Denzel as Blue Marvel would be awesome.
Blue Marvel.
Okay, Kenshima 15. He says he's Nigerian and that shit cringe as fuck, but it's acting so it's cool. Okay, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's just what's the cringe level with that? How do African people hear that shit and be like, hey, he killed it. I've got a friend who's a black immigrant from the West Indies. She doesn't like being called African. Okay. Disney's new mascot, the Panda Bear.
I wrote that down too. That's awesome. Disgusting. That's an awesome concept.
I remember people getting pissed off for white people having braids and called it cultural appropriation when Scandinavians have been rocking them since the Viking days. LOL.
Yeah, I mean, technically, it's like if you're going into battle and you have long hair, you need to tie it back so that it actually doesn't interfere. So braids have always been a thing. Like,
Flash Phoenix, man, I hate white people.
Jesus,
you,
dude.
you and a lot of others, they just won't say it because white people giving them positions. That's some other shit that be killing me, especially when these women be like, "Oh yes, women voices," and you hear this word, "We were allowed to be this and that." Like you still had a motherfucker over you. Like people again praising Ryan Coogler for Black Panther. Like he still had a white dude over him that was influencing a lot of the decision making. So how free are you, brother?
Exactly.
Hell, the Lord dropping them links. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yes, the P is a part of the plot. It's weird. Okay,
Yeah.
good. I didn't
For
watch
Green
that.
Mile. Yeah, weird.
Won't be watching it. Left Eye Ego, can you confirm or deny that you are the man in that dark magician meme I posted on Twitter?
Possibly. I ain't double check that one. Hold on. Keep going though.
I wasn't tough in the Yu-Gi-Oh, man. I was right along with other folks looking at the Yu-Gi-Oh kids kind of weird. Like, hey, bro, you don't need to be doing like that. You ain't gonna get no twat doing that, bro. It's cool. Zax, my will has been written to give everything to the Bulls. Okay, you talking to Zax? I think it's wild how so many people are upset about slavery in the U.S. when that shit is happening right now in 2022. But that shit, yeah, that slave mentality, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Vince McMahon in a do-rag ended racism. John back. He back. All right. He didn't win and saved the life. He done gave somebody their beds or whatever. He in there. Check my feed. I posted it and tagged you.
Oh, it looks exactly like me. It's not me, but damn, it looks like it does look like me.
Hey, yo, I made it. Wolf guy, glad you're up in here, man. Haven't seen you in a while. I know you
Dude.
probably got stuff going on, but you in here today. All right, man. Like this chat up. Like this chat up. Y'all, we got 14 of y'all in here right now. Appreciate y'all. Y'all, let me get through this article because, again, this is us bringing the news, but then we're going to finna talk about this James Gunn stuff. And Ego is more of a DC dude. So, you know, I'm pretty sure he's paying more attention than I am, but I would love to talk about it just creatively speaking. And because I do think James Gunn addresses my issues that I've had with the DC EU, whatever the fuck it's called. And I think he will change it or do some things for the better if he goes on the route that he's saying he's going and listening to actual fans, not the woke mob. All right, let me get through this. Let me get through this article. Did I talk about this? Fishback, portrayed in the film by Black Panther Wakanda Forever actress Dominique Thorne, who originally is from Brooklyn. Her character and Ramos's character have a lot of big dreams and hit glass ceilings, but ultimately become the hero saving the world discreetly, as that's how the Transformer laws are. He further detailed. You have these average folks transforming into something huge and special we didn't know existed, so the record was a right move. It was our anthem on set, so we played Biggie or Anthony was singing The Temptations.
You know what? You know, he might as well just have sung Swing Low. Jesus.
Yep.
Just good God.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Notably, despite the director's apparent conviction in his statement, history does not fully support Capel Jr.'s framing that his and Ramos's 2022 participation in a major geek culture project is any sort of breakthrough for representation.
Try to digest that one too.
Yeah, saying framing that, and again, you gotta this is one of us speaking, so you gotta see what he actually is saying. So despite the actor's conviction, so actually feeling like he really making a difference, and you know, he's been called to this position for some bigger scheme or I don't know, impact. We is like, no, this ain't projecting any sort of breakthrough. So there's not a breakthrough for representation just because his ass making this trash movie.
Right.
While it is admittedly true that the subculture has seen few Black directors behind the camera, Latin directors have long been responsible for some of the most well-regarded pieces of pop culture ever put to screen, such as Robert Rodriguez's 1993 supernatural action adventure From Dusk Till Dawn, Alfonso Gomez. So this is Bound in the Comics, checking them on that shit. The same way with Jennifer Lawrence. Somebody checked the ass like, nah, bro, you ain't the first to be doing this shit. this series, and American Horror Story Coven, as well as Guillermo del Toro's entire filmography. Yeah, man, it's like we focus on black folks, but then you talking all this shit to a Hispanic person right there next to you who is they like to lump us together. So he's a person. They're people of color been doing shit. So in fact, a Mexican American director, Michael Arias, was even responsible for one of the most well-regarded Japanese anime films of all time, Tekken Ken Creek. I don't know. As for black and
I'm sorry.
yeah, that one. As for black and Latin actors, where does one begin? From LeVar Burton as Gordy LaForge in Star Trek: The Next Generation
Jordy. Sorry.
What I say, Gordy?
You said
Jordy?
Jordy.
Jordy. Okay, Jordy. To Edward James almost as Commander William. Look, I didn't watch any of this. I'm not a super nerd like that. To even Steve Cardenas' time as the second Red Ranger and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Geek culture has not lacked for such non-white actors and characters. Agreed, Boundy. All right, a little shaky. Walter Emmanuel Jr. as the Black Ranger and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Ricardo as Khan in Star Trek. Michael J. White as the lead in Spawn. Yep. Alexa Penavega as Carmen Cortez in Spy Kids. Yep. Gabriel Luna as Ghost Rider and Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Danny Glover as Roger somebody in Lethal Weapon. John Leguizamo. See, Boundin, Samuel Jackson as Star Wars. All right.
I will say this. The thing that they didn't address, this is the most insulting part, is the fact that Anthony Ramos' character is actually an ex-Marine engineer. Mm-hmm. They don't even want to highlight the fact that this guy has served his country and is coming back and has an idea of how electronics work. But the time that they're showing him in the car with the Autobots and even the Primals is like he looks lost. There's nothing that shows like he actually understands how machines work, because engineers like to take things apart and put them together. But you're not showing him actually being active in that trailer until the very end. And then even then, it's just like the door opens and he just walks out. I was like, well, why are you here? There's nothing, you're not showing me something special about him, but you told me, hey, he's an ex-Army engineer. And it's like, well, hey, when we were watching, I guess it was, I'm trying to figure out which one it was that had Tyrese in it. I don't remember which Transformers that was, but
he was there from the beginning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At least they were scared at first, but once they were brought in and understood how to work with them, instant mastery. That was Joshua Hamel, and that was Tyrese, and there was the other guy that was with them. All three of them were like, hey, look, we're still soldiers at the end of the day. So we have to treat this like it's a war. We're going to be ground forces, but we need to know how these machines work. For Anthony Ramos' character, he looks like he's lost and doesn't know what he's doing. He's being taken along for the ride, and he's supposed to be the protagonist in the story, but it's like he's not participating in the story. He's just there.
Right. They knew to focus the fucking trailer on the Transformers. But I'm glad you said that, because with Michael Bay, even though I say I call racism on the first and second movie, Michael Bay still did Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. And so that's the thing. When it comes to these white directors or people, they don't get to talk about or shield themselves with the whole racial aspect of it. I don't recall him saying anything about, oh yeah, I'm putting these black dudes out there and shit like that. But then also Michael Bay with the Transformers movies, like you said, with the I guess the Marines, we did have Tyrese. Yeah. You had the white guy, and there were some Hispanic guys in there as well. Because I recall in the scene where they're talking and he does say something in Spanish, and some dude says English, like, real interactions between people where it's like, come on, bro, we don't speak that shit.
Right.
So they don't focus on race, but you see it in there organically. And yeah, that's the difference between us and them. But also Dempsey makes this point. What is white though? We refer to ethnicity like African, Asian, etc., because Irish is different than Italian, Greek, Scandinavian, French, Russian, Polish, etc. Agreed. And I'm sure you know this, Dempsey, but when I say white folks, I'm talking about people with paler complexions. But I lump people into umbrellas. Like I said, I say all of us are racist but we don't try to speak on that shit like we're morally superior and we doing this for this group and that group. But I said this in my video with the Shark Week thing. This lady complained about she didn't see people that look like her in fucking on the animal documentaries and whatnot. Well, look, as a black person, I saw everybody I saw looked like you, lady. So you know, like, yeah, that was you on screen a lot. But agreed. People come from all over and all that type of shit, man. That's why I think we just say, hey, they just call things for what they are, because I'm not about to do the research to find out where this person from, where they come from, what's their genetic makeup. Hey, man, you know what I'm talking about. The white dude in the movie, the black dude in the movie, the Mexican dude in the movie. He might not be Mexican, though. The Hispanic dude in the movie. Like, I'm trying to get to the point.
Saint Gattaca, exactly.
Yeah, he said Dempsey, good point. Agreed. Yep, Libya and y'all talking. They could have just put some regular epic music in the trailer, but no. Yeah, because when you do shit like that, then I'm looking for the word. I kind of want the word, but you ain't giving me the word. Man, we need to be able to add gifts to chat.
We do.
I'm going to say Tyler Perry is the greatest director of all time. Nosferatu too. I tell you, bro, you a vampire and a goddamn troll at the same time. Stop playing, bro. Stop putting that shit in the chat. You would get banned from the chat from saying shit like that. Nosferatu. Now Wakanda Forever though. Yep. I say Wakanda Forever when I exit black conversations, because black folks eat that shit up. Man, that Spawn movie could have actually been good. I'm not gonna praise it. I liked it, but maybe it was because it was from a anti-hero perspective, and you know, I liked it because of that. Yeah, back in the early days. So yeah, Spawn should have been good. Hey, are Transformers slaves? They's free now, but now they oppressors have come after them. Optimus like, no, we've been emancipated. You can't have us. And Megatron's like, no, Prime, you're mine. I don't know what they're doing in there, but yeah. The first Transformers had the late Bernie Mac. Yeah. Yes, Bernie Mac was fucking hilarious in that movie. What do you say? Ding that something out, baby. Goddamn Bernie Mac. Black people don't fuck around with Shark Week in real life. Let's be honest. Yeah, bro. Exactly. That's what I love about animals. That shark don't give a fuck what color you are. Your ass gonna taste good when I'm biting.
Exactly.
Damn, them no good. More like Wakanda, whatever. All right. We at an hour and 30 minutes, man. We almost at that goddamn 2-hour mark. People, we not trying to hold y'all forever, but we glad y'all up in here having a good time with us. Dempsey, Spawn had a great co-villain. The Violator was well done. Malbolgia, not so much. Mal looked like Animal after a 4-month meth bender, starring in the Cannibal Corpse video. Damn, bro, I like Malbolgia. No. Malbolgia was the actual like head demon. I guess I'm talking about John Leguizamo's character.
Violator.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so it's the Violator was well done. So, I agree with you, Dempsey. I feel you. Namor was such a stupid character. Namor, whatever. All right, next one. So we got another article, people. Pull that up. How y'all feeling in the chat? How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling? What y'all want to talk about? What y'all want to throw out there?
Thank y'all for rocking with us.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all. Keep that energy up. Add to the stream. There we go. What Nosferatu say? It's true that white people love exploring and discovering dangerous shit. If we encountered a dragon, we would want to pet it. Bro, if I encountered a dragon, I'd be trying to see what's up with it. Hey, bro, you talk. The Dragon Heart. I like those movies. Ridiculous. Spawn had a lot of source material in the movie.
Okay.
I think that's what the appeal was it for me. There was a lot of comic bookness to it. The muted colors made fucking sense with that character as opposed to a lot of the shit that we getting now. Yeah, let's get through this. Yeah. So we can pick your brain, ego. How this man handling your DCU? James
Let's
Gunn
get it.
addresses DCU cancellation report. Some is true, some is not true. All right, so we saw that some of the cancellations was the Wonder Woman 3, Man of Steel 2, Aquaman 2, Jason Momoa supposedly going to be like Lobo. Anything else you can think of that's going to be canceled or supposed to cancel? I think the Flash movie is still going for some reason.
They actually moved that up a week. So like
Okay.
they're saying it's DC's equivalent of Spider-Man No Way Home. Like they're saying that audience test scores are through the roof. So they're
Mm-hmm.
very, very, very excited about it. What they'll do after that is anyone's guess, but the timetable for that movie has been moved up a full week. So
Mm-hmm.
they're really excited about it.
All right. So he addresses the issues. James Gunn responds to a recent report stating several DCU projects have been scrapped, admitting some of it is true and some of it is not. DC Studios co-chair and co-CEO James Gunn has addressed recent reports that Wonder Woman 3, Man of Steel 2, and other legacy DC Universe characters and projects had been scrapped. Now they talk about this other dude, which I feel like the focus is always on James Gunn, but not the other guy that's involved. And I'm finna continue with the article, but it reminds me of fucking Disney. How you had Walt Disney, and then you had his brother. So you got the creative guy, and then you have the business minded guy that making this shit work, making the right moves. So again, I'm saying like if James Gunn continue and actually listens to fans, not the woke mob, and just want to put out good content, I think this will work for you DC fans. And it seems like with these two dudes, that's probably going in the direction for the better, the right direction. There we go. In a statement shared on Twitter, Gunn wrote, "So, as for the story yesterday in a Hollywood Reporter, some of it is true, some of it is half true, some of it is not true. And some of it we haven't decided yet whether it's true or not." Gunn is referring to a report from the Hollywood Reporter that stated several legacy DCU sequels, including Patty Jenkins's Wonder Woman 3 and a proper Man of Steel sequel, had been canceled for not aligning with Gunn and Safran's new and developing vision for the shared universe. Unfortunately for fans, Gunn has not stated which parts of the report were true and which were not, leaving them to patiently wait for further clarification from the DC Studios boss. This is the tweet that they're referencing. The DC Studios head continued his statement by letting the fans know that he was aware and Safran and he were coming into a fractious environment, both in the stories being told and in the audience itself, and there would be an unavoidable transitional period as we moved into telling a cohesive story across film, TV, animation, and gaming. Like that he said that. But in the end, the drawbacks of that transitional period were dwarfed by the creative possibilities and the opportunity to build upon what was worked in DC so far and to help rectify what has not. What are your thoughts so far, Ego?
So far, I think he's not really closing the door on anything in particular, but not necessarily saying, I'll leave the door open here either. He's being very cryptic and non-committal, which is smart because you really want to see how the ideas are going to flow out of this. I mean, I guess once we finish, I'll talk about what actually has been happening more so behind the scenes. The Acceptor and I did a 3-part series kind of on this with James Gunn and his direction. But for me, it seems like he's saying, hey, I want to make this streamlined and cohesive. Therefore, I have this in mind. Anything that doesn't meet that, let's say, agenda is going to have to be either reworked or canceled altogether.
So when he says, which again, I like that he says it, but what is the fractious? Oh, where Safran and he were coming into a fractious environment, both in the stories being told and in the audience itself. There will be an unavoidable transitional period as we move into telling the cohesive story between TV, animation, and gaming. Now, this is what I have been saying. My issue with the DC, I'm not a big DC fan, so take my opinion how you want, but the movies aren't connected. It seems like they're just all over the place. That's why you got all these different Batman movies. You got, folks who are wondering like, well, is the Joker, in this universe? What's going on with that? And yes, they put some movies together, but you were saying like how I think that Batman versus Superman or that Justice League has so much influence from higher ups that it really wasn't what Zack Snyder had intended, not to the T. So the fact that James Gunn is admitting or understanding that, look, these movies are all over the place. I don't think he's trying to mirror Marvel or copy Marvel. Like I said, Marvel has no fucking claim to comic book movies. They were just the first one to do it. But that's just opened the door for other universes to be built on multiple movies or projects, which is what comics are fucking about. You know, you have this one character, but they have crossovers and interactions with these other characters, and these different stories from these different characters' perspectives come together for like team up events and crossover events and all that type of shit. So that's what he's attempting to do, which I respect, I fucks with. I think that's what you need to do because these goddamn movies are all over the place. And he's admitting that the movies are fractured, but also the audience, and probably referring to the Snyderverse and then the other comic book audiences that are like, no, we want to see hopeful, inspiring Superman. We want to see, we want to see the true versions of these characters, not these Snyderverse dark ass depictions of these characters. And I like it. I like it. Now, I remember you probably go into it. But anyway, let me keep going. Then I'm gonna throw it to you. You can have it.
Okay, cool.
While Gunn has previously teased DC Comics characters and storylines that could potentially make their way into the DCU, he has not officially revealed his long-term roadmap for the DCU. He's still figuring it out. He's a creator. I respect it. He ain't just saying, yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. The fans going to do this. He's like, look, bro, I'm trying to think about it. I'm trying to figure all this shit out so it can make sense.
Right.
However, Gunn shared in his statement that he is aware their plans for the DCU will not make every single person happy every step of the way. But we can promise everything we do is done in the service of the story and in the service of the DC characters we know you cherish and we have cherished our whole lives.
Yep.
And also with that, yes, you will get some backlash from some people when you change stuff, because I know they waiting on the Snyder thing and all that to finish. But he like, look, if it don't serve the story, if it don't serve the purpose of what we're trying to do, we exiting it out. All right, we're trying to keep some shit. It is what it is. Just be along for the ride, and if you're there, I'm sure you'll be pleased in some way. Gunn finished addressing the reports by assuring the fans that Safran and he are giving these characters and the stories the time and attention they deserve. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. And that he hopes that fans can understand that they will have to wait before learning more about the future of the DCU. Gunn and Safran, however you say it, are expected to present their DC Universe Bible to Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav sometime next week. All right, got through that. That. Should I close the article or are you good?
I'm pretty good. I mean, I like I said, I did this with the Exhibitor all of this week with the 3 videos that we posted to the channel. Check out that channel. Check out my channel when you get a minute, because we did a 3-parter on this. First things first, that James Gunn has excellent vision. I mean, he was the person that took the very first Marvel movie where they took us off planet and introduced what we thought were random characters and made one of the most successful and highly grossing movies of Marvel's all time. So his Guardian of the Galaxy take was fantastic. I mean, he brings comedy, he brings some of the tough conversations you might to have, he brings levity, and his sound, he chooses really good songs to pair with his movies. And the fact that he's got a Marvel influence and he's gone from Marvel to DC when he made the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker shows that he can actually transition between the big two. So giving him and putting him in this spot is actually really great to me. So some of the rumors that had dropped were like Wonder Woman 3 wasn't going to be made. That came from the fact that Patty Jenkins actually presented to DC her script for Wonder Woman 3, and they said, you need to rewrite this, and pretty much she rage quit. She's like, no, I'm not doing this no more. I'm out. And so I told everyone the very first Wonder Woman movie that made $700 million worldwide, she did not write the story. She directed it. That was Zack Snyder's story. And you see that because when Wonder Woman 84 came out, you're like, what is this trash? You're telling me like this bullshit MacGuffin is the reason Steve Rogers comes back? Not Steve. Steve Trevor. I'm sorry. Steve Trevor comes back. Like, it's been 70 years. She hasn't had a boyfriend. Nothing's really changed in her life for 70 years. And yet this man magically comes back and then magically gets wished away. And at the end, it's like a Marvel ending. There's no real loss. No one technically dies. Everything is if it never happened. And now Wonder Woman can fly in slow motion, which was weird. So you saw the change of direction. And so when they were doing what I thought was Wonder Woman 3, I thought they were going to introduce Cersei at that point, but the damage is kind of already done. Zack Snyder is out, and I know that Zack Snyder cut fans kind of want the Zack Snyder storyline to continue. Only problem with that is if you look and hear what the original concept was for the Justice League Part 2 and 3, it's like, well, in Justice League Part 2, Lois dies and Superman gives into the anti-life equation of Darkseid. Therefore, he actually winds up being Darkseid's minion. And in that, you actually find out that they try to go back in time, and then Bruce winds up getting with Lois Lane through some other bullshit MacGuffin, and they have a baby together. And Superman winds up sacrificing himself, and then Flash kind of rewrites the entire thing. Now, for even Snyder Cut fans, that's too much. I know Bruce Wayne's got game, but bro, don't move in on your homie's wife and then have a kid with him. And then after your man sacrificed, you'd be like, man, he sure was something. Lois, let's go. So even for me, Snyder Cut fans would have said, you know what? We got the Snyder Cut. We got someone to say that even something that we said wasn't even real, because that's what studios were saying. It wasn't real. You're never going to get it made. You're just an incel, and this is never going to happen. You got them to actually make the film, get it funded, and presented to us. And it's the full 4-hour cut. That was the best thing that could have ever happened to us as Snyder Cut fans, but we need to let it go. It wasn't going to be the thing that was going to keep Disney going for the next 10 to 15 years, and that's why James Gunn is here. Now, with the decisions that I think he's making is he's saying that, hey, all of you are technically fired, and you need to actually reapply for the job of getting your movie to script. See what I mean? So I think they are going to evaluate Black Adam because, there's a kind of a fight to see if the movie's lost money or has made any money. And so once you verify that, it's like, well, hey, now that we know what works and what doesn't, we need to make our movie streamlined based on that. Now, they were saying that the other issue, too, is the fact that James Gunn's thinking that he might do Kingdom Come, which is one of the best storylines in comic book history. Although it was a 4-issue run, it's been adapted at the point where it was even in the show Arrow. And so if you're doing this massive project, it's supposed to be the Justice League after being in the Justice League for 20 years. And so it's like, well, if you're going to do that, we could put it on HBO Max, we could put it on HBO, we could make it a movie. So he's at least entertaining all ideas, and that's kind of all we really wanted. Someone that actually enjoys comic books and wants to be true to the story, taking in everything and figuring out what works and what doesn't. I'm sorry I talked so extemporaneously on that one, but Except and I've been talking about this all week, and I'm finally glad we're getting a little bit more clarity on what James Gunn's plan is moving forward.
I don't have too much to add to it, but people were freaking out about like somebody said in the chat, I want to see the Man of Steel 2 sequel. I think it was Wolf Guy. That's not an issue, but as in you want to see that sequel, I don't know if you'll get that, but that's not to say y'all won't get, like you were saying, Gal Gadot back as Wonder Woman. She could be in a movie called the fucking Amazonians or the Amazon, some shit like that. Like you can see Henry Cavill come back as Superman, but I remember Henry Cavill was saying that this Superman was more hopeful than the Zack Snyder one, which is a Superman that I want to see. Although I'm not a Superman fan, I know who the hell he was. I know, that dynamic between the team, especially him and Batman, and they're like kind of being polar opposites in a way. So you can still get the movies that you want to see, but like Aquaman, like I know people been wanting to see Jason Momoa as Lobo for a long ass time since we probably seen that dude's face. I don't know if it was me and you, Ego, talking, but seeing Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones, like
we did he did look like Lobo.
Yeah, and that's probably where that came from. Him and that energy in Khal Drogo, and folks was like, "Hey, bro, you need to be fucking Lobo." But stuff like that. But now you get the opportunity to see that. What did you about to say?
I was going to say that the thing is that if there's anyone that could address how fractured the DC universe is right now, it would be James Gunn. And so we talked about it. I don't know if anyone knows who Booster Gold is. Pretty much, he's like a time traveling hero that really is from the future, but his career as an athlete didn't pan out because of gambling. So he steals a superhero suit and a time machine device and goes back in time to try to be a superhero and be famous that way. And so if you're having this time hop, which would actually be better than using the Flash for this as a vehicle, you could actually have Lobo, played by Jason Momoa, walk up to Jason Momoa's Aquaman, and they stare at each other and they look familiar, and they're like, you see that they're about to say something really special, and he's like, I take the hair, and he's like, thanks, bro, my man. Moving on, and that's it. They're two like, hey, we don't give a shit. It's he's Aquaman and he's Lobo in two different universes. Get over it. Now we're going to the next one. And so he could actually make that an actual funny thing to acknowledge and say, yeah, we get it, we don't care. Also, the fact that him being Lobo as a bounty hunter is more badass than, hey, we got Jason Momoa to play Aquaman before Marvel could get him to play Namor, because he looks more like Namor than he does Arthur Curry in Aquaman. And I mean, and I think part of the reason
Lobo?
why, no. Jason Momoa looks closer to Namor in Marvel than he does to Arthur Curry Aquaman in DC. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, DC is good at.
You talking about original Namor, not this adapted?
Original, not more so original. I mean, the vibe that you get for Namor, kind of like the badassery, that's more Namor's kick than it is Arthur Curry.
You said look like. Now, fuck no, he don't look shit like Namor. But
I will say, what as far as Marvel's casting choices, they would have gotten to him first. DC does a great job of being like that one person that's trying to steal your girl. Like, they're always great with trying to steal the casting choices from Marvel, because Marvel wanted Henry Cavill to be Wolverine for like 10 years. No, we'll make you Superman, bro. Like, we stole your guy. And they're like, I know y'all trying to get him to play Namor. No, we gonna steal your guy again, Aquaman. And they changed the entire lore around him to fit. So they're good at casting. The only thing is, when you cast A-list actors and actresses like this, they usually don't sign 7 movie contracts. And that's why it gets fractured. So, the other point I was trying to make is Jason Momoa playing Lobo actually sets him up for something that I wanted to see actually remade. And I know someone that's going to do it justice would be Jason Momoa as the Crow. Now, I know that there are stills and images from the canceled project, and damn it if he doesn't look like a dope Crow. So I think that's partly why he wants to be Lobo, because Lobo is more in line with his personality. Similar to the fact that Chris Evans' personality is more like the Human Torch than it is Steve Rogers' Captain America.
Do I got anything to add to that? Because I was gonna let you just kind of go off on that, but like, again, creatively speaking, I think I was saying how the Disney Plus, Marvel had the perfect opportunity to, let's say Spider-Man, for instance, instead of this animated ass series that they coming out with, that would have been a perfect time to keep Spider-Man over there instead of these movies that they portraying, because the events that they were going through, Spider-Man was older. That's been my issue, is you got this kid ass Tom Holland. Well, if you want to do that, keep that shit on Disney Plus and we see him grow. That way, when he does come into these events, you see a full-fledged like Spider-Man, a mature Spider-Man. Because Civil War, although I praise that fucking movie, within the MCU, it was a great movie because it built up to that story. It was shit compared to the comic, but you see Peter go through being on Iron Man's team, and he had that Iron Spider suit, and then see. Now look, y'all, this is out of nowhere, but I do call racism on Civil War because in the comic, Goliath died, and that made everybody be like, you know what, this shit's gone too far. One of our own has died. But then in the movie, I think somebody looked at that and was like, okay, well, the black guy died. We can't have the black guy die. So we're just gonna have Don Cheadle get fucking paralyzed to where he ain't really War Machine no more. I really think that was the decision making behind that. But during that event, Peter saw that and he was like, damn, Tony, like, this ain't what I thought we was fighting for. I'm out. And he didn't say I'm going to Cap's side. He was just like, I don't want no part of this. This is not what I signed up for. We ain't being heroes no more. And I think he tries to he tried to give the suit back. But then Tony was like, nah, bro, you ain't finna leave up out of here, you know. And so they actually chase him down and is attacking Peter. So to see that maturity and that decision making with that character, I would have loved to see that from a Spider-Man during these events. But we didn't get that. And like I was saying, Disney Plus was the perfect opportunity for them to raise these newer characters up. And then you see them be introduced into this cinematic universe after we've spent time with them consecutively and on a cheaper budget on Disney Plus. Well, with James Gunn saying that making this cohesive universe where the animations and the games and the movies are all connected, very ambitious, but you can see newer characters grow and be raised to stand next to these legacy characters in this DC universe. I was saying like Blue Beetle. So that Blue Beetle movie is coming out. Me and others, I've seen people so hyped for that movie with only seeing what the character looks like because he looks like the fucking character. They're getting honest representation with that movie because they don't have to race swap some fucking body and put him in there. They got Mexican ass Jaime Reyes on the fucking screen. So it's like you getting what you want. They're getting that, like we've been saying, these comics already have diversity, inclusion, representation. They already got that. Adapt these actual original characters or characters of color. Well, DC is doing that. And to explore the relationship between the Reach, or the people, the species that create the Scarab, and the Kryptonians, for instance, and you know, the Reach on some real evil shit and trying to take over, and then seeing Superman possibly intervene and not raise Jaime Reyes, but you get what I mean, like being a mentor to show like, no, bro, you don't have to fall to the programming of the Scarab. You want to be a hero. You know, be that symbol of hope. You can see that. You can see these younger characters like a Robin and the Flash, with a Wally. You can see those characters, and I'm kind of mirroring Young Justice when it was actually good. Fucking Beast Boy. I'm waiting to see a Beast Boy done well. Well, we can see that with this, but you weren't going to get that shit from Zack Snyder. So I'm glad that, and that's what I mean. Like James Gunn is saying, like this environment is already fractious, whatever the fucking word is. It's all over the place. So you will be able to see that being explored and done right. Like Young Justice teased at the end, which I'm spoiling it, but you know, if y'all ain't seen it in all this time, I don't think you will. But you saw what's Supergirl's? I can't think of her real name, but you see her Kara. Okay, Kara, because Cara Dune was on my fucking head, and I was like, I know it's not Cara Dune. I can't think of her actual name, but you see her and some other female characters, like for Shazam, one of the Shazam sisters.
Mary Marvel.
So they were becoming the what's the Miss Granny Goodness. How she's raising those femme fatales, the femme furies, whatever the fuck they call, raising them for Darkseid. Well, we can see that type of stuff being explored in this new universe that he's actually trying to work to. Again, as opposed to finishing the Snyderverse and then still not pleasing a whole lot of fans. You can build towards that, and I think that is the way to go. Creatively, now I'm not saying he will actually make all the right decisions, but from what James Gunn is saying so far, I think these are the right moves to get the actual comic book universe that we wanted. And by Marvel showing us kind of how to do it in the beginning and then fucking up, this is the perfect time for DC to come in and say, especially by James Gunn coming from Marvel, he can say, okay, you know, this is what worked, this is what didn't. We're going to elevate. We're going to build up on that hype for these comic book stories and characters and movies that people want. We're going to do it right, and we're going to continue to do it right. And I think that's the move for DC to make.
And he's also good at getting people to want to be in his movies, even with limited roles. Like, who the hell would have thought Vin Diesel would just have one sentence to say for an entire movie, and it'd be hilariously profound. And then he got Sylvester Stallone to do the same thing with King Shark. Just King Shark is a shark. And you're like, whoa, Sylvester Stallone wanted to say one phrase the entire movie. You got him to do that and want to do that. Like James Gunn has got some special charisma to get these A-list actors to want to come in for these minimal roles.
What up, Salty? What up, Salty? I'm just going through the comments. Yeah, you can keep going off, but again, as somebody who's I got some DC comics. I've read some shit. I don't love these heroes like I love the Marvel heroes, but again, from somebody who's been kind of checked out or not even paying attention because of these issues, James Gunn is coming in and said, I know this has been an issue. We're about to fix it. So you got my ears perked up just with that. Seeing the newer superheroes, like I hated. I'm saying I hated Cyborg in the Justice League shit, but I didn't even watch it, so I don't even know how he was. But I think that Cyborg was more.
The Snyder cut version of Cyborg was the heart of the movie. Like it revolved around him. And the thing is, his father's influence was they cut like the Joss Whedon cut completely erased his father's influence on him. He's like, yo, son, you can topple the world, or you can build it up. Like I gave you the opportunity to do that. I just want to let you know that this is what I've given you. You think it's a curse, but it's actually the best gift in the legacy that I can give you. Like it, bro, if you watch the Snyder cut, just that one scene alone shows how important he is to the entire movie. I'm serious.
So I get what you're saying, but I can't speak on the Cyborg from the goddamn comics. But seeing Cyborg from Teen Titans, I like the portrayal of that character. Pretty stereotypical. I don't like that, but he was still a good dude on the team. He was great energy, all that type of stuff. I would rather see that Cyborg than this serious Cyborg that was in Zack Snyder's version of the movie. And I think
agrees.
I think people wanted the over the top boot. Yes, that's the type of stuff that I want. And we can see that in this new universe. He wasn't going to get that. He wasn't going to be that all of a sudden. And yeah, Young Justice failed with that as well because, and it was crazy because they had the voice of Cyborg in Young Justice, but he was one of the dudes on the team. So I was like, what the fuck is you doing here?
Because they needed a black guy in the Justice League. That's what happened.
What you talking about with Young Justice?
When the New 52 started, right?
No. I'm talking about in Young Justice.
I know, but I'm trying to explain. Oh, you're talking about in Young Justice version for Cyborg.
Yes, I'm saying the voice of Cyborg was there, but he wasn't on Cyborg. And you got this soft ass sulking Cyborg, not even built like Cyborg, the big body dude that we used to. He was slim. We can see that booyah. And that's what I mean. Like, I think that's what the DC universe is missing out on. It's so on this dark shit. Like, even fucking Joker. Like, yeah, some people like it or whatnot, but I want to see crazy ass fucking Joker, bright colors, fucking around with everybody. I want to see that. I want to see him pull out the fucking little squirt flower with his fucking acid. I want to see the long pistol. I want to see that type of stuff.
You want Jack Nicholson, Mark Hamill Joker.
I want to see comic bookness in my comic book movies. And with this rework, this is the perfect time to get that. Like you were saying with I like the Batman and Robin movie from back in the day, but now we can get that Robin. That was Nightwing's issue. It's like, bro, you're dark, you're brooding. I'm not that guy. I like to have fun. I'm trying to be the hopeful superhero, all that type of stuff. We get to see that with this new DC universe. So that's all. I'm going off on what I want. My Beast Boy, I want to see that dude transforming into all them goddamn animals. And again, you can explore those darker stories because the whole Trigon, him and Raven using him for that type of shit. I'm so ready to see that depicted on the screen where Beast Boy's been this great dude, just happy he's the heart of the team. But then we explore the Trigon arc where now he's become a fucking vessel for demonic darkness. And, we see Raven be there, but then she becomes this character. And that's what I mean with James Gunn. You can do that. We can hit all these different tones from all these different characters all over the place. And then once, like he said, he's saying the right things. We're going to see the time invested and spent with these characters that they deserve. You will get that. So when you do see a dark Superman or a dark Batman or a dark Raven along the line, you're there for the change, and you see how they got to that point, as opposed to just presenting them as such. This is that character. So I'm pleased based off of what I'm hearing.
All
We
right.
ain't saying shit. I'm ready to see some stuff, but we were saying like with Lobo, you get him on that goddamn motorcycle, and you know he can. That's what you can see these characters pop up in different people's movies. If he's a bounty hunter, well, he's going after this character in this movie, or we see him and we got to stop him somewhere because he's going after this character in another movie, and
Right.
see him on that goddamn motorcycle, get that Ghost Rider energy. That should be beautiful, bro. That should be beautiful. You got anything else you want to say?
No, I
on
just
that,
wanted
bro?
to say this. Halo Lord was saying that he did a gay ass booyah, and then my
For real?
response was, yeah, he was like booyah quit.
Ah, shit, that's success. Well, look, me and Ego agree on this. Perfect time for this fucking clip.
We're brothers, we're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
All right, cut and print. Beautiful, guys. Dynamite.
Look, bro, you gotta remind me to play for goddamn clips in the stream. I gotta remember to play clips on the stream. All right. Y'all, we passed the 2-hour mark. It's been fun. Again, we're not trying to hold y'all for too long. Let me address these comments and then get y'all out of here, man. Get y'all out of here. All right. Cannoli says, I'm interested in what Gunn might do with DC, but I'm still leery. I hope it works out. Yeah, I hope it works out, man. Hey, but independent creators, we got to rise up before they get their steam again and they keep a hold on the industry. Jacob Ironside, you left, right? You came back. Oh, he said, hey, okay. Peak X-Men versus Peak Avengers. There's a ton of team member crossover, so each character will have to pick one. I am saying that X-Men can. If just all mutants go there, Fantastic Four in particular. Yeah, we could talk about what the MCU could have been all day. But again, I'm not mad at James Gunn for saying, all right, they fucking up. Let's take advantage. Snyder Cut Cyborg is trash, in my opinion. So is Flash. Yep, I think people wanted over the top. You was addressing these comments. Yeah. Snyder Logic, Booyah Cyborg is racist. There you go. Just like M'Baku. M'Baku was fucking racist to Disney. Yet, here you go. We got ape sounds and all this type of weird ass shit. Just lean in. He was Aqualad.
I forgot. That was the voice of Cyborg. I forgot he was Aqualad too.
He played Aqualad and Young Justice.
Yeah, I forgot that. Same voice.
Okay, so he put on the Teen Titans Cyborg voice for that one character on the football team, but he was just chill,
right?
Serious Aqualad. Okay, I liked Aqualad, and he was great until originally he was great until all the weird ass shit in the final season that they was going for. But there you go. Head of lore, don't remind me. I can't feel my toes. Look at y'all. See. Hey, and then it reminds me of what because you saw the Black Adam, I didn't. But one of my issues with Black Adam is focused on Black Adam, but you got Shazam that already had this movie, but you're not connecting those characters. But then you want to throw Superman in there because people like Henry Cavill, just like with No Way Home, you want to throw Tobey Maguire in there. And then Andrew Garfield. I think I'm one of 10 people that loved his Spider-Man, but you throw them in there because you know people like them. Fuck that. Connect these fucking characters. That's what I want to see. And with that, a lot of people were saying, because the animated movie came out, I can't speak on the comics, but the Superman and Shazam movie where they was fighting Black Adam.
That was the movie, the animated movie, but that was awesome. That's what we wanted to see. And I said, technically, if you're gonna explain how the JSA would have gotten to conduct in general, which it would have made no sense that Amanda Waller tells them. I see they're trying to make it so that the Suicide Squad and the JSA might have some interconnections, but the fact of the matter is Black Adam is Shazam's arch nemesis. So if anything, the 7 wizards would have had to ascend and say, yo, Billy, the Marvel family, we need your help. A person we imprisoned got out. You need to go handle it. And then they actually run up on Black Adam. And so can you imagine him uppercutting one, hitting them with lightning, and they turn back into their normal
Yes.
form? They're falling, got to yell Shazam to be that superhero again. The girl that runs up on Shazam gets punched into the ground, hits her with lightning. She transforms again. She's got to chase Shazam. And he's just bam, flash, bam, flash, bam, flash. That would be an ultimate, almost DBZ type fighting scene.
Yep.
And that's what you could have gotten. And then he's like, hey, look, I'm not fighting because they let me out. I'm fighting because the guy is actually trying to turn his Sabak. We need to actually form together and go fight him. And then once they're done, Billy Bass is like, yo, I'm watching you. He's like, watch all you want. We're just gonna square up at some point. So it was a missed opportunity.
And with that, that's what I mean by having these legacy characters actually come out, impact this world, and then have these younger characters being raised up. Perfect opportunity for Superman to mentor Billy Batson. Yep. And we see that type of stuff in the movies, because I would have loved to see in a Black Adam movie, not necessarily a Black Adam movie, I'm not going to say I want that, but I would have loved to see a full-fledged, mature Shazam, Captain Marvel, kicking ass against Black Adam, as opposed to Black Adam being created to be this anti-hero, dark hero, whatever fuck you want to call them. But yeah. I want people to stop with it, reflect the world we live in today. When you are making a fantasy movie, superheroes don't exist in our world today. Dumbasses, it is called fiction. Agreed.
Right.
People forget Lobo is a savage who kill off his whole race. Yeah, bro, I want to see Lobo having fun, talking shit, going after all these heroes across all these movies and projects. That's art. You just lost a subscriber. My bad, man. What I say? Hail the Lord, dropping those links. Bruh, is my boy Ego wearing a motherfucking Reptar shirt? Yep, for the dinos.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, we haven't even addressed the way we want to go out. Look, I agree with somebody from earlier. I think it was Dempsey, but Supernatural, come out with it. Zombies can be thrown into that. You can get zombies from supernatural reasons. Red Dead did it. There was a fucking curse that started creating zombies. I'm with it. That's my perfect time to fucking wolf out and fuck shit up. But yeah, that's what I'm with. Dinosaurs, I'm not mad at dinosaurs. They're just animals to me. So I'd fucking love if dinosaurs was actually fucking here. All right, Ego has ascended to godhood. Carrie Payton is Cyborg's voice actor. There you go. What is the purpose of Adam Warlock at this point of the MCU? Thanos is gone already, and the stones have been dealt with. He embodies the Soul Stone.
He does. Yeah, that's where you find him. So he's in the Soul Stone. So I have no idea what he's not gonna play. I don't know if there is a purpose for him. Doesn't just say that we have him. So
they just make shit up as they go. So
the problem was that in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, James Gunn introduced him. And then they went off script from that. It's like, whoa, he was trying to tell you this is how it's supposed to go. And they said no. And that's why I think he's going to have a better job with DC doing this.
What up, Blair DeBlair? Says, I just watched Black Adam last night. I liked it, but it could have been better. And that's fine. Also, people, think, do you like it because everything else has just been shit? Or, does it stand on its own? Is it great? Not compared to everybody else. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but I've seen that a lot all over the place. Lobo will do, hopefully, what Gore the God Butcher should have done. Exactly. Exactly. And James Gunn says, I'm listening to the fans. We trying to adapt an actual comic book universe here. And not just throw shit out there. But all right, people. That's all we got for you. Anything you want to say to the folks?
No, thank you guys so much for staying with us. We still got 13 people in the chat after you hear us talking and bumping our guns for 2 hours plus. So we thank you guys. We'll be right at it for next week's episode. But for now, Ego out.
Oh, snap. So next week, are we supposed to we supposed to be going to the gun place and
oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. So yeah. I don't think we will have a show next week because we're trying to get our LTCs, license to carry. I don't know all the gun jargon.
You got it right.
But okay, so we're getting those, and that's going to take up the whole morning. So we won't be here for next week's episode. Hey, send me a message, DM me, all that type of stuff. Let us know because I know sometimes we have a later show, sometimes we just make a video. I think that's probably what we'll do. I don't know. We'll try to see how much of that we can actually record. I remember Steven Crowder did that for some people when he was introducing them to guns. Anyway, we'll see what we can do about that. But nah, it won't be a show next week because we will be handling that. But appreciate y'all being here. I got nothing else.
I was gonna say we could always do a poll like on Monday to see, hey, do y'all want us to try to record something for you guys or do a live stream later on in the week? Or like at a specific time. I mean, well, I'm always up for a live stream if y'all are still up for that. We can just change the date and it won't be Saturday. But we can try to drop in a poll and have you guys answer that.
Okay, yeah. So we'll look at our options, and we want to give y'all something to thank y'all for rocking with us. But all right, we out, people. It's been fun. Let me get that video ready. Peace.
Ego out.
I'm gonna knock these stickers off. This stays in our vote.